Hello everyone and welcome to my COVID-19 online workshop. My name is Yunila Nose and I will be your trainer for today. A little bit background about myself is that I attended the Cape Peninsula University of Technology. I currently have a national diploma in human resource management and I am currently studying an advanced diploma in human resource development. So the purpose of this video is to provide awareness on COVID-19, which is also known as the coronavirus. And also it will serve a purpose of providing you with knowledge on the coronavirus. So what is COVID-19? COVID-19 is an infectious disease which is caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. The coronavirus has been around for the longest time. So you might ask yourself, if the coronavirus has been around for the longest time, why are humans being affected with it now? So the answer to that question is that it brings me to my next point, which is corona is known to be more common in animals. So what happened is that an animal that carried the coronavirus came into contact with a human being, and then that caused what we are facing now, which is the COVID-19 disease. So that is how the COVID-19 came about. The structure of the coronavirus is a crown-like spike on the surfaces. So it looks exactly like the one on the picture when you look at the coronavirus sample under the microscope. COVID-19 originated in Wuhan, China in December 2019. So next up, we will be looking at the main types of COVID-19 infection. So COVID-19 is transmitted through contact and droplets. So what this means is that the droplets would then cause respiratory particles which are subjected to gravitational forces that travels about 1 meter from one person to another. So what this means is that when those droplets come into contact with a person, that is when the person will contract the COVID-19 disease. COVID-19 is also airborne. So this is recent information, because when COVID-19 first came about, we only knew COVID-19 to be transmitted through contact and droplets. However, now studies do show that COVID-19 is airborne. So airborne transmission occur if patients respiratory activity or medical procedure generate respiratory aerosols. So these aerosols particle will travel much longer distance and remain airborne for a longer period of time, whereas in the contact and droplets, the droplets last on the surface for about 8 hours. So when it comes to airborne, it stays there for a longer period of time. Okay, so next up we have stages and symptoms of COVID-19. So there are 3 stages of the COVID-19 infection disease. The first one is symptomatic. So this refers to when a person shows some of the symptoms of COVID-19. The second one is pre-symptomatic. So this refers to when a person who is infected with COVID-19 does not show any symptoms in the first 5 to 6 days. So they do have COVID-19, but only later on they show symptoms. After, let's say, most cases after testing, they then show symptoms of COVID-19. So the last one is asymptomatic. What this is that it refers to when a patient who is affected with COVID-19 does not show symptoms at all throughout the time that the person is infected with COVID-19. They do not show any symptoms. So this is more common in countries where people do contact tracing. Contact tracing is done, for example, if let's say you find out that a colleague of yours is tested positive for COVID-19, and then it will be required that everyone that was in contact with the colleague, it will be recommended for them to go test. And even though they might not show the symptoms, but sometimes the test will come out positive, and it is also studies show then that even though they are positive, they do not show any symptoms. So that is asymptomatic. So COVID-19 comes with mild symptoms. So those symptoms include fever, dry cough, shortness of breath, breathing difficulties, and fatigue. And then you will get your severe symptoms where it will need it for you to go to the hospital, which are pneumonia, kidney failure, and even death. So the less common symptoms will be then aches, sore throat, diarrhea, loss of taste and smell, rash on skin, or discoloration on your fingers or toes. So COVID-19 treatment. Currently and unfortunately, there is no treatment for COVID-19 as of this moment. Clinical trials are being done all around the world to find the cure for COVID-19. So countries that are participating in these clinical trials are the UK, Russia, India, and right here at home, South Africa. Yes. So what happened is that there are people who volunteer for the testing of the vaccine to be done on them. So after that, now there are a couple of stages. There's more or less 5 stages that the organization that is dealing with the doctors that is dealing with the finding the cure, that are dealing with the clinical trials, have to go through all of those stages and see whether each and every stage is successful. So most of the countries that are participating in these clinical trials have passed stage 1 and they are successful. So it is a long process which could take to about 2 years to finally get the cure that will also be safe for people to use. Yeah, and it is now there is the whole debate on whether who will get the vaccine first should it become available. So many people are saying that front the front health workers should get it first, and because they deal with they are more prone to the virus as they deal with the infected people already. And also now the big debate is which countries would then get the virus first, which is still on debate. So the next one is severely ill patients are given a medicine called remdesivir. Also in the USA, the National Institution of Health recommends corticosteroids, dexamethasone, to patients on oxygen and ventilators. So I've also read up about this, and in South Africa we also have this steroid. So initially the company that produces the steroid is in UK, and then also we do have the manufacturer here in South Africa, which is good, meaning that we can easily access these steroids, and this steroids has been proven to decrease the number of deaths in the ICU, which is also great. So what to do if you are infected with COVID-19? So you should seek immediate medical attention if you have serious symptoms. So these will be your severe symptoms, which most people would then, the reason why they go to the hospital is when the most common one is when they having difficulties breathing. So yeah, it is essential that you go to the hospital at this point so that they can give you stuff to open up your lungs and give you also oxygen to help you to breathe properly. Also, call before visiting your doctor or health facility. So this is just to make sure that your general practitioner is prepared for you, and that they know that you're coming, so that they can put measures in helping you. So people with mild symptoms or are otherwise healthy should manage their symptoms at home. So this is when most people were introduced to the word quarantine. So it is I know here in South Africa we have quarantine facilities where people who can't quarantine at home, who have been infected with the COVID-19 disease and cannot isolate at home, so they go to quarantine facilities where they stay for a period of 14 days. Now it went lower. It's now the recommended days in which you can stay in the quarantine facilities in 10 days. And also during these 10 days they should be not in contact with anyone, and in the quarantine facilities their nurses will then check their progress, and if you decide to stay at home you must put in special measures to ensure that you will be away from people, and yeah, throughout those 14 days, so that you don't spread the virus. Ways to preventing COVID-19 transmission. So the main thing is to stay at home if you can. So in April of 2020 this year, South Africa was introduced to a lockdown. That's when the government made a restriction, and everyone in South Africa had to go under lockdown to help decrease the spread of the coronavirus cases. So during this period of time, there was less movement, and as a result, the COVID-19 cases were low than they are right now, because now the lockdown restriction has been lifted. We are on level 3, where now there is more movement, meaning that the more movement, the more the coronavirus also moves around. So with that being said, the staying at home is good, but mind you that now there are other factors that are not so good, because now people started losing their job during the lockdown, and people's livelihoods were affected. So it came to a point where the lockdown was doing more harm economically. So the government then decided to ease the lockdown to cater for other needs. So the second point is take care of yourself. So more than ever, especially now that we are in winter period, it is essential that you eat healthy, you exercise, you take your supplements. There's zinc, there's vitamin C, and there's vitamin D. If they are too expensive, at least get vitamin C, because vitamin C helps boost your immune system, and we know that the virus affects your immune system. So if your immune system is strong, then your immune system will be able to fight the virus. So, and the third point is avoid public transportation. So public transportation, for example, the taxi, is very congested. So if you can, try to avoid public transportation by all means, because you are likely to contract the virus if a person next to you does have the COVID-19 virus. And lastly, regularly and thoroughly clean your hands. So especially if you're gonna go to public places, let's say to get your medication or your essential goods, it is important to sanitize your hands, and you must sanitize with a sanitizer that is alcohol based, make sure that it is alcohol based to ensure that it will kill off the germs. And wash your hands more than ever now, and ensure that you are healthy, because it is very important. That will be it from me today. I hope that you enjoy this. I hope that you enjoy this online workshop on COVID-19. I hope that you have learned a lot. I hope that this video has broadened your knowledge on the novel coronavirus disease. And till next time, bye.